Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Hi, Lee. Hello. Welcome. Sorry if that was on there for too long. I was looking for a die. I want to use this die today and I couldn't find it. So, how's everyone doing on this Friday? Hello and welcome. I'm Libby and I am here to do my 12 p.m. Eastern live stream. I had promised that I was going to work with some flamingos today. So, that is the plan. This has been bugging me in all my lives and I haven't fixed it. That thing was crooked, and I don't know why I didn't turn around and fix it before now. So how's everyone doing today? Hi, Flora. Hello, Malin. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. So I had mentioned in my previous live, I wasn't here yesterday. My son was doing a walkthrough, a senior walk at his elementary school. So he's a senior in high school and graduating next Friday. He's done with school now. Finals are done. So we went to his elementary school where he got to walk through the hallways and all the kids could see what it looks like to be a high school senior. And then okay, there, is that better? Was that bugging you, Lee? Anyway, I'm gonna label those eventually. They're just like blank labels right now, but anyway, it was really cute. The parents couldn't go inside the school where all the little kids were, but we waited outside and then they came out and had refreshments, and some of the teachers were able to come out. Not all of them, because the kids were still at school, so the teachers couldn't just be out without him. But he did get to see his kindergarten teacher, and so I got a picture. I need to dig up his kindergarten picture with the teacher so I can put them side by side. But anyway, it was a sweet day, so that's why I didn't do a live yesterday, but I'm back today. And on Wednesday's live, we made an otter card. So this is the otter card. I went afterwards and added 2 more flowers. I had this flower up here during our live, but I wanted to add one to the otter's little head there, and then one down here in with that little area. And I added the white lines on the otters. I hadn't done that originally as well, but I decided it needed it. So that was the card that we made on Friday, or no, not Friday, Wednesday, using the, what is it called? Utterly Adorable stamp set. And Lee says it's utterly cute. Hi, Kathy. Hello, hello. All right. And so I said during that live that we would use the flamingos today. So that's the flamingo set. Yeah, you can kind of see it. I'll put up the picture real quick if you want to see what the flamingos look like. So this is the fabulous flamingos from the Jenna Blade release on Tuesday, and they are so cute. And we're gonna have a lot of pink today for Lee because Lee loves pink. So that is what we're going to be working on. I think what I want to do is use the new sketch challenge, which was posted on Wednesday, which is this. And so that's why I was looking for that die. Now the sketch challenge, that is like a literal product of ours, which is called the what's it called? Stitched high-low strip cover-up. But you don't have to have that die to be able to play along in the challenge. You could just do, just kind of take the cue from the sketch of what you would put where, the different boxes and rectangles and stuff. So it's not like you're required to use that product to play along with the sketch. So we do a different sketch challenge every week. If you aren't familiar with it, it's always on Wednesdays. It's the weekly sketch challenge on Wednesdays. Yesterday we did our Christmas card challenge. And then today, if you haven't peeked at the blog, we started a brand new challenge this month. So we're retiring our money card challenge, which was a lot of fun using the money card products. And now we have a new one that is called Card Queue. And I keep getting it turned around in my head and thinking cue cards, but it's Card Queue, which is a play on that. And that's what the little logo is for it. It's somebody holding up a card like a cue card, but it's Card Queue. And every month, it's a monthly challenge. We'll give a different theme and we hope you'll play along. So our debut challenge, the theme is flower power. So anything with flowers will work. So look, I had little flowers on my otter. So technically I did flower power, although I made it before the challenge started. And you can't do that. You have to have a new card for the challenge. So I think on Monday when I do my live, I may do some flowers and play along with that challenge. So anyway, just some things to think about if you are looking for inspiration. We do a lot of challenges at MFT and we'd love for you to play along. And you don't even have to use MFT products, although we love it if you do. All right, I see some of our design team members here. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Carly. Hello, hello. Nice to see you here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go to my overhead camera, and I already have some stuff cut out and ready to go here. There we go. Hi, Margot. Hello. Welcome. I feel like I'm a little tilted, maybe. Let's see. Sorry for the adjustment. Ooh, that seems better. So you get a little peek. I already colored some of these flamingos, but I'm gonna show you how I did the coloring. My desk is kind of a mess because it was literally where I was playing with stuff. And again, this is the fabulous flamingo set that we're using today, and it has coordinating dies as well. Let me set that aside. So when I get a new set like this, I like to just stamp and die cut a whole bunch of them. I just load them up in my MISTI. Sometimes I do the method where you make the little template and then you can just pop in your die cut stamp, put in more die cuts. But this time I didn't. I just stamped them all out in my MISTI, and then I went and die cut all of them. I die cut all of them on Wednesday when I was watching Jennifer McGuire's series with Hanging with Hero Arts, and they're talking to Gina Kay. It's just so interesting hearing the history of some of these stamp companies and people in the industry. So I don't know if you guys have checked that out, but it's kind of fun to watch. So I was listening to that while I was die cutting. I'm crooked. Hold on. Can't have crooked. There we go. It's kind of like my my tags on my bins. Oh, look at this. So Tiffany has done some really awesome no-line coloring on recent releases. And Lee says that she got some gray paper and she's going to try it with the new JB release because Lee likes to color with her colored pencils. So that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it, Lee. And Tiffany inspires me all the time. I love her art. She does such fun mixed media type of stuff on her makes, I don't know what I'm even trying to say. She's awesome. That's all I'm trying to say. All right. So anyway, I'm getting all distracted here. So for my flamingos, let's just start with a flamingo. And I'll just show you how I colored it. And then I'm not going to color all this because it's a lot and it would take forever. So I already did some coloring of different things. So once I do one to show you, I'll pull them out and go from there. All right. So the pinks I'm using my Olos, but similar. You could do similar with your Copics or your pencils or whatever you like to color with. I'm actually going to go in and add a little darkest with this one as well. So these are the 4. I was remember if you guys were here with me before, I was having some issues with getting drips off of my Copics. And my friend Roberta's not here right now, I don't think, but she had told me how I was opening and shutting the lids too much. I'm going to just go ahead and open all these right now. And I reached out to Lori Craig at Olo and just said, I think I'm messing something up. What am I doing? And she said, if you're opening and closing your lids a lot as you color, that adds more pressure inside the marker. And so it's actually better to just leave them open as you're doing your coloring and not open, close, which is what I was doing. So just a little tip for that. We talked about that and thought that might be the case. But sure enough, I went right straight to Lori from Olo and she confirmed. And she also said that if you're doing a lot of like right down on the tip like this, like I don't know if you can see, but I'm straight up and down. And that's like when I do the dotting on the cheek, I'll do that. And then sometimes if it's a small area, I'm really at the tip of the marker, which you kind of have to be to a point. But if you're doing a lot of that kind of really up and down work, that can also make your ink in your marker pool a little more. So just some tips on that to think about because, we don't love that. And then you can also take a Q-tip if it's getting kind of blobby and suck up just a little bit of that marker ink. Okay. Without further ado, let's start some coloring. So I can't zoom in if you're new to joining me here, but I will hold it up as I color. And I'm just going to put some down around the beak area as a darker area, and then down along the neck. But I do love my Olos. Having, the way the ink flows in them, I think makes it easier to blend a little bit easier. So, I'm not saying anything negative about these Olos. I absolutely love them. I just need to not open and close my lid so darn much, which is what I was doing. So, okay. So down there and maybe a little bit down here as well. All right, so that's first layer of color. You can see it even if I'm not holding it way up. Hi, Holly. Hello. Have you already had your lunch, my friend? All right, and then I'm going to go into with the next. I started with I didn't go with the very, I don't know why exactly, but the way I like to do it is I do my 3-color blend and then I go in at the end with the really darker one and then do a little bit more and then go through the blending again. So that's why it can sometimes take me a good hot minute to do my coloring, but that's just how I like to do it. I'm going to flick a little because I'm getting a sharp edge there. And I also like to kind of scrub, I call it, along the previous color to help the blend. So that's where I am right now with it. And then going in with my lightest, which in this case is RB01, and blending that out. So I think we're supposed to get rain here at about 2 p.m.-ish, which is a bummer because after this live, I was going to go take my son over to the campus of the university he's going to be going to and do like a little photo shoot to get some photos of him with the sign as you enter and all that. So this is where I am at right now, and that could be fine. I could end there. That's, there's some good blending and whatever. But I also like to take that darker one, like I mentioned, and just really go in there and add some drama by having some really contrasting colors. And so that's what I'm going to do here. I could have just started with this, but I don't know why. This is just how I do it. I do the 3 and then I go back in and kind of decide after I look at it whether I want to add more or not, I guess. I'm going to do this just a little bit around the line. And I don't do it like everywhere. That's part of it too. I just kind of add a little bit of it. Okay. Now I am going to go ahead and blend that out a little as well. Yeah, the flamingos are so cute. Holly, you weren't here yet, I don't think, when I showed my finished otter card. I'll hold it up again for you. Because I added a little bit of more flowers to it. That's what I was going to say. We've also been trying to buy a used car, but for my so right now I have 2 teenagers. So there's 4 of us in the house and 2 cars. And it's almost summer when they're going to be wanting to be off with cars, and it's just not working. It's just not enough cars. So I didn't really want to have to buy another car, but I guess we have to. So we've been trying to get it from CarMax, and we found a used one that we like, and it's just a hassle. It's like, do these people even want to sell me this car? I can't even tell because it's been so hard to get it done. It's just kind of funny. So can you remember how it looked before and kind of see the difference on how much kind of more striking it is now with that darker color added in? And oh, by the way, I should have fixed my nail polish. Oh my goodness. All right. So that's how I like to do the coloring of the pink on that. I think I might need a little bit darker right in here. I don't like that little light spot on his tail feather. Okay. And then, and by the way, for whatever reason, I've gone out of the lines a lot when I'm coloring with these pinks. There's all my remnants, but I really use my white acrylic paint pen a lot, my Posca, when I finished up the coloring when I was working on these before. So just FYI, that's coming too. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my oranges now. I don't think I did all these oranges though. No, that was with my browns. It's hard when they're, okay, so I have O's and Y zeros. I think that's what I use for the beak of the, let me think for a second here. No, that is not, that was the flower center. These are the oranges that I used on the beak and legs of the flamingo. Yes, I could do more. That's one thing I want to work on, Tiffany, is using more colored pencil along with my alcohol markers, which I've never done. So I'll have to play with that too at some point. Not today though. All right, I'm going to take my lighter orange and just add it. I don't know. You can see I'm not like any kind of coloring rule follower because sometimes I go dark to light. Sometimes I add the light first. I don't know. It just depends on what I feel like grabbing, I guess. I'm coming up with a little orange. Kind of put it where it might be darker, which I don't even know where it would be on these legs, but a little bit of this 02.5 down here at the base. Which again is kind of my darkest of the shades. Okay. And then I did just a one color, the CG7, which is a pretty dark gray. Does MFT have an order code? I don't think so. I don't know if you're talking about discount code. Right now, today is Flash Sale Friday, so there is a category of products that are on 50% off, 50 products, 50% off. So that's something that if you want to check it out, you can. But as far as this flamingo set I'm using, there's no code to get it right now. All right. And then what really makes this also come to life is adding my favorite things, my Posca pen and my black glaze pen. The Posca, you could also use a white gel pen. I just love this Posca pen. You go ahead and do his little black shiny eye first. And I always go off my paper, off on scratch paper first to make sure I'm not getting any blobs. And then I'm going to just go ahead and add, first of all, though, let me just dot on his cheek. There's already pink there, but I just like to make it look even more pink cheek-like. Oop. I snapped my marker shut. It's a habit I have. Yeah, I don't even know if that's the right order on a flamingo to have orange and then black. I mean, they do have, I think they do sometimes have color on their beaks like that. I didn't even look up like an actual picture to try to see if I was even close to realistic. Which I don't care because it's a cartoon flamingo anyway. Okay. So, like I said, what really makes that white or that beak come to life, or I don't know what you want to say, but really makes it pop is if you take a white pen like this and just draw on it a line like that. And then it looks, oops, you can't really see it. Now it kind of looks like it's a shiny beak, right? Having that white highlight on there like that. So I just think that's fun. Then you can add them in other places too, if you like to. I'm just following the curve of the bird. A little bit to his feet. Again, now I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. And then I'm going to look and see. And this one I actually didn't die cut very well. It's really, I didn't even realize as I was coloring it, I grabbed one that's really not centered well at all. And I smeared that paint on his foot. Oops. Oh, well. But now I'm going to just look and see if I went out of the lines anywhere. And I want to add a little gel pen over that. Okay. I can't pick him up. So there he is, all colored. You can see I kind of smudged his foot. Ignore that. Pretend that didn't happen. Okay, so here's all the things that I had colored previously. So you can see I did kind of the same thing with the coloring. I colored the little island scene as well. And I did one little hibiscus that I might put in one of their, this one, she looks so sweet and bashful. She might need a little hibiscus in her hair. I don't know. So should I try using some pencil? I don't know. I haven't done it before. So I'm seeing, so Tiffany's saying pencils over markers. I think you might gunk up your markers if you pick up whatever the pencil is made from your marker tips. So you'd want to put your marker down first and then do a little penciling. And then Lee's just talking about how awesome the MFT design team is, how they've taught her so many tips and tricks for coloring, which I agree completely. Okay, so I don't even know. I don't have a pencil sharpener right here either. So if I wanted to add it, Tiffany, what would you do? Would you go in with like a dark pink and add a little, I don't know if that's the right shade. Try this one. I also, along the same lines, well, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world, but I have my white paint already on there. That might be a little bit too dark. Black or a dark gray. Okay. So not even trying to get like a pink color to match. She would use a dark gray. Like a dark, like this dark. Really pump up those shadows. Okay. That's like Kathy Rakusin would say, get in those nooks and crannies. I'll hold this up in a second so you guys can see. I'll maybe hold it up against one of the ones that I didn't add pencil to, and you can see if you can tell any difference. I don't know about what I just did under the wing. I didn't actually color under the wing dark to begin with, and if you think about it, that's where there would be some dark because it would be a little shadowy under there. I'm kind of coloring lightly because I don't really know what I'm doing. So compare him to maybe him. They're different ones, but can you see how, like I added that dark around his face there, how much more that gives it? And so also Tiffany's saying take a lighter pink or dark pink, whatever pink, and blend that pencil out a little bit too. Do you like this? I'm getting real-time coloring lessons from Tiffany as we're live. It's literally something I've been meaning to play with, and for whatever reason, I just haven't picked up the pencils and done it. But yeah, I like that. This guy's popping. What do you guys think of that? Has anyone else done this? Are you going to try adding some pencil in with your coloring? Okay. Here is how I colored the little island in the water. All these colors here on the side are what I used to color, although I don't see my blues are over here. I just have markers everywhere. Markers and pencils and all the things. So for the greens on here, this is the combo that I used, which is ones you wouldn't necessarily think, adding in that YG. Actually, it'd be more like this order. And that really gave it the nice contrasting colors there with the shadows and everything. And then this is what I did for the blues, just a little blending trio of blue-green colors. And then on the sand, I took these colors, I kind of, I did the whole thing in the lightest, and then I came in with the medium one around in there, and then I added all those little dots, and I think this was like one of the samples on I think Nikki may have colored her similarly. I want to make sure I'm calling out the people who inspire me. Nope, not Nikki. Rachel, she did it to a lesser extent. I kind of went more heavy-handed with my dots, but I liked how she had some dots there in the sand of her little island, and so I mimicked that a little bit with my coloring. So the dots are chef's kiss. Yes, I love them. I put them in, no, I didn't. I did on the otters. I was thinking I put them on the rock, which I could have done, actually. I didn't. But on Wednesday, when I colored the otters, if you remember, we put little, come on, focus, we put little dots there as well on the rocks. Did I have it like that when we were live? I might have went in and added that after the fact too. I can't remember. But that's how I did those little rocks on the otter card. Love adding the dots. I would love to see you color, Carly, with your pencils. So I hope you do get them out. We can all be inspired by Tiffany to try them today. Are you guys going to have any coloring time this weekend? Anyone watching today? Are you going to be able to have some time to color anything yourselves? Let me go ahead and just do this. I'll show you how I colored this. I just went out of the lines because I was trying to hurry. We have grad parties to go to this weekend. It's that season, and my son's a senior, so we know people graduating too. So we have a couple to go. I'm also going to a concert on Sunday night. My goodness, my brain. I need to make some graduation cards too, Melissa. That's what I should have done today for this live, maybe, because I have to go to a grad party this evening. But anyway, on Sunday, we're going to a concert that's like I don't know if it's the Atlanta Symphony, doing movie themes like Star Wars music, John Williams, whatever. And we're doing it because one of my friends is moving to Colorado, which I'm very sad about. So it's our little last night out with her. And it's actually her son's grad party that we're going to tonight. All right. So one thing about when you add dots, right now, my ink would be quite, it dries really quick because it's alcohol markers, but you do want to give it like those few seconds to make sure it's dry before you go in and start adding the dots, because especially if you're adding the same color dot, it will really blend into your marker if it's too wet on wet. And so you do want it to be a little bit, give it a little minute to dry before you start adding the dots. Like when I did this originally, I probably colored that, did all this, and then I came back in and did all those dots on there just to give it enough time to dry and not have the marker just blend right into what I had already put down. Let's see. Lee has a retreat this weekend with Holly, and I think she means like some kind of virtual event from one of the stamp companies, I'm guessing is what you mean by that. So that should be fun. Do you guys want to see me color this, or would you rather I go on and do more of the card? Oh, Tiffany, I want to do that. I do want to do that. It's just, first of all, getting people to teach at it when there's so many of them going on, it can be challenging. So there's that. Hello, Francesca. I don't know what lavoro means. What does lavoro mean? I need to learn my Italian. Ciao bellissimo lavoro. Probably saying that wrong. Okay, so since we were talking about doing a virtual event for MFT, if we did that, what would you guys want to see? Like, would you want to have it be an exclusive box of products that you get that we send out for the event specifically? Would you want it to be more like the ones I used to plan for Hero Arts, where it's some new products, but really encourage you to use what you have on hand? Would you want it to be a a 1-day thing, a 2-day full weekend thing. You know, what would be your dream virtual event from MFT if we could just plan anything? I'm curious. Melissa also likes the idea. So for these fronds on my palm tree, I am putting this one down first because this is a little bit more of a challenge to blend these colors just because they're YGs going into G. So I'm going to start by just putting that color down. Actually, I'm going to go now to the darkest one. I don't even know if this is exactly how I did it when I first colored it, but because I change my mind all the time. I don't want to get marker on these, so I'm going to just kind of scoot those off to the side a little bit. And then I'm coming in with that G 1.4, kind of blending out that dark green, and then coming back in again with the yellow green to blend that. And see how it blends nicely, and it really makes that frond striking. It looks weird now against all the other yellow green leaves without it all being blended, but just to give you an idea of how I did that. Let's see. Holly loves the idea. A 2-tier price option is interesting as well, Lee. Things to think about. And I do really want to make sure I get some of that dark green in that where they come together, because that would be really dark in there. And I kind of went back and forth on which side the shadow would be on, but like I said, I'm not a rule follower. I just color it how I want to color it. And you do make it a little harder on yourself if you kind of, when you're trying to blend, if you wait too long, like the way I did all those dark, I really should have gone one leaf at a time, one frond at a time. That makes it a little easier to blend the colors. But so there's that. And then of course I went in and did more of the white gel pen on there as well. Let's see. I know Tiffany's happy to teach, but not everybody actually. I know there's the talent on the design team for sure is awesome, and we would all love to learn from them, but not everybody likes to go live. So it is not something that everyone is game for. What about this? I know some events are just pre-recorded videos that you get access to during the event weekend. Do you guys like it when it's like that, or do you prefer it when you're there being able to chat with the teacher live? Oh, look at that. Lee just asked about pre-recorded. We could do a combination maybe for people who like video pre-recorded better than live, but You know, there's just a lot of options. Now you can see I made a boo-boo on this one. I went way out of the lines right here. So again, I would go in with my white gel pen. It's hard when it comes to little points. You have to really try to get in there without it looking weird. But covered up my boo-boo, no problem. Flora likes pre-recorded so she can watch at her pace. You know, when it's live, you actually can pause live YouTube. You don't have to watch it. You know, you can stop it if it's going too fast for you, even when it's live. So, yeah. Overseas, I mean, they're always available on replay when it is a live event. So it's not like people have to get up in the middle of the night if they don't want to. They could always watch the replay. But then you have the chit chat, and some people don't like the chit chat. Personally, I think it's nice to have chit chat. It makes it more personal, but that's just me here chit chatting to you guys. So it's also a lot more work for somebody to have to do a pre-recorded voiceover video than it is to just go live. Going live is much, much easier if you're not afraid to do the live. Okay. Oh, the teachers who are overseas. Yeah, that's true, Holly. That's true. I mean, that's totally up to them too, but yes, that makes sense. Oops. So let's go back and do some dotting on this one. So again, this is where I go in with my tip and just pounce around with it. Try not to be too uniform, but sometimes the more you think about not being uniform and wanting it to be random, the harder it is to be random because you overthink it, which is what I do. All right, and then I went in again with the white as well. Yeah, Tiffany, that makes sense. I know exactly what you mean by that. Allison is asking about my Olos. They are my go-to as of late, as of the last year plus. I do have Copics as well. I think the Olos blend a little bit easier together, but I love my Copics too. I love them both. And sometimes I will use Copics. I'm fortunate enough to have both. I know not everybody has that option, but I started buying my Copics in 2008 or 2009 and collected them over many, many years. So, yeah. And then when the Olos came out, I did the Founders thing, which was a really amazing deal. And I just went for it. And now I can't wait to get the new colors of Olos. But I don't know, something about the fact that the Olos don't have nearly as many colors. It makes it easier for me. I don't have to think so much about what to use. But now I can't remember how many new colors there are. I think maybe 32. So I'm going to have more options. But and then this is you can see the color choices of Olo versus Copic, where there's just so many. I mean, it's wonderful to have this many colors for Copic. And there are holes in this that I wish there were more colors of, and I think that's what they're working to fill. But anyway, I love both. I need to get I'm going to have to do a new Olo chart once the new Olos come out, but I need to get that into a little plastic thing like I have my Copic one in so it doesn't get all messed up. Here are my Distress watercolor pencils. This is before I got the new set. I might use it. Do you guys ever use Distress watercolor pencils for anything? I might color with those on Monday for my flowers that I want to make. Just a little preview of that. Okay, anyway, I'm just like taking forever on this card, aren't I? I'm just chatting too much. This would be, if somebody doesn't like the chit chat on a live, this live today would drive them absolutely nutty because I am just not getting a lot done and talking a lot. But here are my little flamingos. Again, we're using the Fabulous Flamingo set. And again, I think I'm going to use the sketch challenge from Wednesday. This is what it looks like. And again, if you're playing the sketch challenge, you don't have to use the actual die, but I do have the actual die here. So I thought I would give that a whirl. I did not pre-design my card. Oops, I'm figuring it out as we go. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut this from, I think, white cardstock to have it to work with. I don't know why I'm worrying about this being perfectly lined up, because it doesn't need to be. I'm putting it on another piece of cardstock. So if you guys have looked over the Genoblade release from Monday, or no, from Tuesday, I mean, out of all those 5 sets, which one is your favorite? We have the otters and the flamingos, the gamers, the peking pals, and then also the dinosaurs. So out of all those, which was your favorite from that release? Here we go. Jennifer loves the flamingos. The other Jennifer loves flamingos. She's in Florida. Makes sense. This is my favorite answer. That is so Lee. You cannot make me choose between my babies. Yep, she loves them all. I haven't played with the Peking Pals yet. I need to do that, don't I, Heather? The Game On is awesome, especially if you're a gamer or you have gamers in your life like my son is. Jennifer loves the otters. Melissa likes the gamers. So again, this is the otters. This is the card I made on Wednesday. And on Monday, I did the gamers. I made this card, and this one was inspired by Michelle Short. This one had elements inspired by Han and Nikki from our team. So anyway. Okay, so here is my die cut. Hold on, it has a little bit of hairs, paper hairs on it that I want to take off. And then I thought I would put it on maybe my favorite. I always use we'll see what we want for the base. Might even do hot pink again. And then probably put that up there. Maybe I'll put one right down there. Maybe I'll put a message here. A little flower in her hair. I was thinking of, I'm going to do some things behind this, by the way. I don't know if I'm going to pop this in or just use the background. Use a background piece. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Sheesh. I could pop that back in. Would it look weird to have a little bit of pink on the horizon and then a sky behind those? Would it be too much pink if I did a really light pink on the horizon? I haven't made this many cards in forever, Tiffany. It's very weird. It's weird that I'm making so many cards. Okay, I have to remember this is the bottom. Let me see what's in my brush. Let's try that, and then we'll go from there. The top window shaker would be super awesome, but that is more than I that's more than I have in me today. But that is a great idea. I absolutely love it. I don't even know where my acetate is right now. I really need to finish unpacking boxes. I took everything out of my craft room. Oops, that was really dark. Well, a little while back to paint my walls and get new flooring. And I still haven't unpacked all my boxes. And every now and then there's something like, oh, I have not found where XYZ is at. And then one of those things is my my acetate. So do you see what I did there? I didn't even ink up my brushes. I just used what was the ink that was still sitting in them because I don't necessarily clean them out after I use them. Maybe I should, I don't know. But I mostly just put them away and then I maybe ink them, clean them the next time if I think I'm going to be going to a different ink color. Thank you, Heather, for the compliment. Maybe I'll have to make a Peking Pals next week because that set's really cute. And it must have been a popular one because it's currently out of stock. I noticed this morning. Just the stamps are out of stock. The dies are still there. Trying to figure out, what did I do? I had a guy standing that way. I feel like that's too close almost, but I think I want to have, I could turn that around. You guys, I'm thinking out loud as I do this here. Turn it like that so it's more water below it. Ooh, okay. I like that better. And then I can raise the little scene up a little. The blues are not the same shade, but we're not going to lose sleep over that. It's fine. And I might even want to make some clouds up in the sky. Would that be too much? And what do you guys think about, and I'm going to put this back in, I think, too. So it's going to be white down here because I think I'm going to stamp a message on that one. What do you guys think about the background paper? Should I pick a different color of cardstock for the background? Let me know what you think about that, and I will get out the messages here and see what fits in that. I've always looked up to you. I'm so glad you're part of my flock. That could be cute. Do you think I'm so glad you're part of my flock? That would be good for a going away. It's part of, for a good friend who's moving away. It's not a going away card message, but I think that'd be a good one to give her. I'm so glad you're part of my flock. I'll write on the inside, you'll always be part of my flock, even if you live all the way out in Colorado. Maybe she's going to live by Lee. Maybe she can go craft with Lee sometimes. Just kidding. She's not a stamper. Pink background. I'm seeing pink. All right. I'll try a pink background in just a second. First, I'm going to get this message stamped. Oop, that's not in there straight. Sorry if I was putting my head on the screen. I'm putting it a little off center. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just center it. Because I'm going to put that little flamingo down there, but I think that's straightish. Yeah, I don't know which mountain she's going to be on out there, but I can't remember where she's going to be at. But where she's going to be, her neighbor across the street is some guy from a famous band. Forgot who. I'm drawing a blank. Maybe Metallica? I think she's going to live across the street from the singer of Metallica. So how's that? That's kind of crazy, isn't it? If you center it, the flamingo will be in the way. Well, I was thinking I could put the flamingo up a little. I don't know. Should I not do that? What am I doing? Yeah, I should put it off to the side like I was going to, shouldn't I? Thank you for questioning that, Margot. I have one of those little grids that you can put in to make things, to make sure things are straight and whatever. I don't know where it's at. It's probably hanging out with my acetate. Yeah, I knew you wouldn't know, Lee. Lee knows less about pop culture than pretty much anyone I know. It's so funny. That's okay though. Thank you for just checking, Margot. Ooh, it looks like I had little fuzzies maybe from toweling it off. Darn it. Oh, well. I'm going to live with that. That's fine. Another thing I'm trying to be better at, because if I don't, and I keep doing lives every day, it's going to get out of control very quickly, is cleaning up as I go, instead of just saying, oh, I'll do it later. And then I finish the live and I go upstairs to get something to drink. And then I go to my computer and do some work. And then next thing I know, it's the next day and I'm doing a live and there's a mess everywhere. And then I just pick it up and push it to the side. And then I repeat that over and over, which is how I have been at times in the past. And we shall not do that anymore, because that's not good. You do. This is true, Lee. You know the pop culture of the things you like. Like if it's a squishmallow, Lee knows it. Okay, all right. What am I doing? Let's see. I'm going to get my cardstock back here. I could also, should we put a plaid behind it? I always want to do the plaids because I love them. That might be too much. Ooh, let's see. I have one with pink and teal. Or I could do stripes. Or even like this, colorful canvas. Where's the pink? There's the pink. Is that the right pink? Can put something like that as the background as well. Yeah, whenever I ask Lee, and if I mention something to Lee and Holly, they're like, what? What's that? I'm not saying this to make fun of you guys, although I am a little, I guess. But, I just think it's funny. I love it. It's adorable. I should probably just stop talking now. I also love this gingham, which I haven't even opened yet. All right. I'm aborting that plan, and we're just going to try a pink. Hot pink again. What do we think of the hot pink? Is that too much? I need this to be more like that, I think. So they're not right on top of each other. I need somebody other than Lee to say she likes it, because Lee is always going to like hot pink. All right, you guys are liking it. Okay. And then I was thinking of maybe putting a little bit of clouds back there. Well, I guess that wouldn't really work, because I grabbed this out, but that's going to be too much. I should have ink blended down. Did any of the sets in this release have clouds? I don't think so. I'd have to grab them from a different, I don't know. I'm going to go with this for now, but when you see the final card, if you ever see it, maybe on my next live I'll show it, or maybe someday I'll actually post things, but you might see a couple little changes, because I have a way of doing that. I love things popped up. I think in this case, I'm just going to keep it flat. And then I'll pop up some of the flamingos. Going out of the lines. So just a little FYI, what I think I'm going to do on Monday. Do any of you guys follow Mansi, M-A-N-S-I, Mansi Makes? She is such a kind soul, and you resemble that remark. Well, was I lying, Lee? I don't think I was. Monsi does this thing she calls my bucket fillers. She used to call them gratitude tags. Now she's calling them my bucket fillers, where when she goes around places, she'll just give these little tags that she makes that are, she's so talented. They're beautiful little pieces of art. She'll give them to people as a little thank you for whatever, whether they waited on her at a table or they were the crew on her airline she was flying on, or just anything, a cab driver, just somebody who made her coffee at Starbucks, anything. And I just think it's such a wonderful thing to do. It just inspires me so much. And so I've been wanting to sit and make some of those little tags that I could give to people inspired by Muncie. And so what I think I might do on Monday is get out the Sketchy Bloom set, which, do I have it out already? No, I think I just had it open on my computer thinking about this plan. And then I'm going to use Distress Watercolor pencils, and I'm going to watercolor some of those flowers is my plan. So if you have watercolors and you have sketchy blooms or any kind of little sketchy flower, any flower that you might like, if you wanted to have those available with you at noon on Monday, we could make those together and it could be kind of fun. So that is my plan. And by the way, I'm taking a Distress Watercolor Pencil class this weekend, tomorrow, from Jen Shirkus, my trade show BFF. I'm supporting her and taking her class, and I might have some new ideas hot off the presses from that class of ways to use the pencils. So I'm really excited about it. So that's my idea of what to do on Monday. And if it's something that, you might want to make some of those yourself and give them out to people, I'll have to let Monsi know too that I've been talking about her. She's taught at virtual events that I would do for Hero Arts, and she's amazing. I think she blew some people's minds with all the free flowing art that she makes. And so if you have seen that, just know that I'm not as talented as her, and it's not going to be like that. I wish it was. It'll be a little more controlled. You have to know what I'm talking about to even know what I'm talking about, but she's amazing. So Tiffany suggested sparkle with some sequins. That's always a good idea. I'll grab what I have nearby after I get these on here, and we can think about whether we want to add a little bit of sequins to it. Looks like I forgot to pull tape off this bottom one. Okay. Now it's like, how do I want to do this? Do I want to double pop him? I think I might. Hi, Carly. Thanks for being here. Holly. Oh my goodness. You're so sweet. All right. So I'm going to put the head on where that's already popped up, and then I'm going to double pop her legs because it's going to be at the base layer. I have all this stuck to my fingers. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Holly. Thank you very much. You're very sweet. That's why I talk to Holly almost every single day, because, good for my ego. You guys, okay. Thank you. But I don't know what I said, but the main thing I was talking about Monsi is just how how her class was. It was like, whoa, it's a little mind blowing how free she was with everything she did. That's what I meant, is I'm not gonna do it that style. It's gonna be much more controlled. Monsi's amazing. Anyway, I don't know, whatever. I didn't mean to be self-deprecating to myself if I came off that way. Not that anyway, I'm gonna just stop talking now because I will say more things I shouldn't about myself, I guess. All right, I'm going to put some on here as well. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, but I put glue on the foam adhesive if I think I want to scoot it maybe a little, if I'm not feeling super confident about where I'm putting stuff. I don't have to be too lined up with the other bird. You know, I'm trying to make like a little visual triangle of flamingos, but I don't want them like lined up. And so that's what I was scooting things around for. Oh, she's cute, isn't she? I love it. Oh, I love it. That set is just so cute. Let me find my sequins. Let's see, I have some clear ones here at my desk, but I have some pink ones as well. So I have these flat ones. Those are just little no-hold sequins. I have pearls. I'm not feeling it with the pearls today. Do you guys think I should find some pink sequins for this? Or maybe even aqua? No, aqua would probably be too much. Let's see. These are the ones I got out the other day. I have some little half hearts. They're so cute. Allison is saying, stick with the clear. Maybe I'll do that. But look at these little hearts. Aren't they cute? Oh. I don't know. I get a lot of these things from Lucy's things. I think she may have, did she stop doing that? I can't remember, but I bought like a million sequin mixes from her. Let's try. Oh, sequin overboard. Where should I put them? Here's the hard part, figuring out where to put the sequins. Where's my tool? See, there are some small ones in here. This one feels weird. It's like a little, I don't know, that doesn't feel like it would go on there flat. I'm not sure these flat ones, these smallest ones in here are actually flat enough. Maybe they are. Nobody's saying where to put them. Nobody. I like that small size, but it's just not a normal flat sequence. I don't think I can use it for this. Maybe it was meant to be more of a mix. Do you guys like my little bowl, by the way? Look at that cute little happy cloud. Something like that. Do we like that placement? Try one at the top, one where at the top. Instead of where I have three, just put one up there. I was counting that as my three together, but this is the hard part for me. I think I like three up here. Sorry, Holly. Oh, I kind of like that one kind of peeking out from behind him. Could do the drop square. Two under the left guy and one at the top. So you think I'm going overboard with my sequence? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I'm just going to do this because I'm feeling like I want a whole bunch of sequin on here. Sorry, Holly. Oops. Okay, so there we go. A little bling with the sequins, and we have our cute little flamingos. And it came together fairly easily. Even this has been a long live. I already had them all colored, so it shouldn't have taken nearly this long, but you know. And then that's a good entry to our sketch challenge. Not that I can enter, but you know, that's what you could do for the sketch challenge, something like this. But even if you don't do the sketch challenge, these cover ups are really handy to use. This is the stitched high-low, I think. So yay. So again, here are the cards I've made so far from this week's Gentle Blade release. We had our Game On card and our Utterly Adorable card, and now we have Fabulous Flamingos. I have some bonus flamingos I can do something else with later. All right, guys. And so if you want to join me on Monday, I'll be back. I'll be using the Sketchy Blooms, which I think is in the retirement category, by the way. So if you wanted to grab that set, you wouldn't have it by Monday, but it is a beautiful one. And I think it's on the retirement list. Okay, so there we go. So that was our card today. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's getting dark here, so I may not be able to take my son for his photo, but I am going to drop off, and I will see you again on Monday at noon Eastern. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend and enjoy it and maybe get crafty a little bit. All right. So I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.